Every one of us is tasked with bringing the world to perfection. This week's Parsha reveals a secret to help us do just that. Parashah Teruma opens the third theme in the book of Shemot, the national building project to build the Mishkan and the sacred vessels. Hashem describes to Moshe how to construct the Mishkan and each item. The language is the same over and over. You shall make a table of acacia wood. You shall plate it with gold. You shall make a menorah. You shall make the boards for the Mishkan. You, you, with one exception. When Hashem commands Moshe to build the ark, the language is they shall make an ark. Why is everything you in the singular while the ark is they? As usual, Rabbi Sachs has a beautiful insight. Says Rabbi Sachs, the temple was not universally accessible. If you were not a Kohen or a Levi, you could only go up to a certain point. If you were a Levi, there were areas designated just for you. A Kohen could go even further, but only so far, and only the Kohen Gadol could enter the Holy of Holies, and only at certain times. Every part of the temple had a specific audience, hence, you, the singular. But the ark was different. What was contained in the ark? Among other things, the ark contained the tablets of the Aser Hadibrot. The ark contains Torah. And as we sing with our children, Torah Tziva Lanu Moshe, Marashat Kehilat Yaakov. The Torah is not the exclusive purview of the priests or the sages or the rabbis. The Torah is the heritage for the entire congregation. It's for every one of us, hence the plural. Building the ark together and learning the Torah inside is what has kept the Jewish people on the same page for 3,500 years. Says Rabbi Ephraim Goldberg, do you know what is the holiest object in a synagogue? It's not the donor board or the Kiddush table. It's not the beautiful ark or even the Torah scrolls with it. The holiest object in a synagogue is something that used to be very common but is seen less often now. The holiest object is the board at the front of the shul that tells the congregation what page we're on. Keeping the Jewish people on the same page, literally and figuratively, is the holiest of activities. If your synagogue doesn't have that board, then the holiest of job falls on you. More holier than concentrating extra hard on the Shema, more holy than shuckling extra fast during the Amidah. When someone comes into shul and looks a little lost, you give them a siddur and show them what page we're on. Give them a chumash and say we're about to start the third aliyah on page 432. Get your brothers and sisters on the same page. Chaverim, my friends, the world today is not on the same page. Too many people in all corners of the world look at the last 510 days and still don't understand what is right in front of them. We all need to do our part to get people onto the same page. Remind them which side measures the success of a military operation by how few civilians were harmed and which side measures by how many. Which side is willing to take painful risks to bring their brothers and sisters home from 500 plus days in brutal captivity, and which side uses those hostages as leverage for the release of murderers. Which side comes together around the world to mourn for Shiri, Ariel, and Kafir Bibas, and which side justifies and celebrates their brutal murder. Sometimes you look at a situation and it's hard to know what page you should be on. Other times it's crystal clear. All you need to do is look at the board in the front of the room. It's time to get the world on the same page. That's one thing you can learn from this week's Parsha. How will you step up this week to bring the world a little closer to perfection? Shabbat Shalom, Chodesh Tov, and Am Yisroel Chai.